Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have very special guest actor Johnny Ray Gill is in the building.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Good. I'm very excited about today's dish. I was telling my neighbor, yo, she was like, who you interviewing? I said, we're going to do I don't want to say what we're doing.
Okay.
But go ahead. You tell us what you're going to have me eating today.
Okay, we're going to be doing whole fish.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not the most creative name, but that's what I always call it. So whole fish, baked. I learned how to do this in Ghana.
In Ghana?
Yeah, in Ghana in 2016. So, you know, connecting back to the diaspora. So that's why this dish is important to me. You feel me? So yeah, we're going to get outside.
Yes, and just for you guys listeners, I got the email. It was whole trout or whole
sea bream. You can do a
or
whole anything, whatever you like. The reason I like this dish is because it's easy. It's really about how you season it and what you use to season it and the herbs that you use to season it, and then you put it in the oven and wash your hands with it and then eat it after it's out.
Yes, and it's extremely affordable. So I did go to Costco, guys, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. How many fish is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So a whole family of 6 can eat for $15.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I will say, not only is this dish unique in the sense of, price and quantity and, obviously nutrients as protein.
Yeah.
But I will say, Johnny, you are awarded the most seasonings in one episode.
Oh, shoot.
So
okay.
go ahead and name all the seasonings that you have for these fish.
Okay, we got cumin, salt and pepper, of course. I use minced garlic, the watery kind, not the dry kind. You don't want your fish dry. So the watery kind, so you can use the juice on the inside.
Okay.
You have ground cinnamon. That's just something I like to use to give it a different kind of flavor on the top.
Okay.
At the end. You have chili powder, cayenne pepper, depending on how spicy you like your thing. You got dill, garlic powder. I advise using like avocado oil because it has a high smoke point.
Okay.
You don't want your joint burning while it's in the oven.
Okay.
You feel me? There's a lot of different oils you can use, so by all means research and use what you like. As far as herbs that we have here today, we're gonna be using rosemary. That's gonna go inside.
And they said fresh. Had to be fresh.
Fresh rosemary is good. I actually, brought some green onion from my garden that we're gonna use as a garnish at the end.
What?
Yeah.
You have a garden?
Yeah, I do have a garden. Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
In the middle of downtown
I feel
Los
like
Angeles.
I would if it was someone I had to be trapped on Earth with right now, I would be fine being trapped with you because your food looks like it's gonna taste great.
Hey, we're gonna be outside. You know what I
Okay.
mean? We got lemon out here, but as far as the herbs, you can really do what you want. The thing about this whole fish situation is really about tailoring it to your specific tastes. There's not one you can season it however you like. If you want your joint to you want a Creole fish, by all means put some Creole seasoning on this thing. If you want it to feel like Puerto Rico, do that. If you want it to feel like North Dakota, I guess put some potato salad on it and bake that. I don't know. So also turmeric I like. I think that's everything.
What's that one behind turmeric?
This is cayenne pepper.
Oh, cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
And then you have a hot sauce and Lowry's, or do you use Lowry's?
I don't use the Lowry's on here because I want the specific specific seasons that you can use individually. Where Lowry's is more like something
combined,
that's combined already. I use the hot sauce at the end. You can use that if you want. There's a lot of different kinds of hot sauces.
Yes, there was. By the way, there was a million back there. We didn't know which one you.
Yes, I mean. I get whatever's on sale, to be completely frank with you.
Okay.
And this is eating while broke. And so for me, I feel like while you're broke, you should, especially in America where the healthcare system is the way it is, you should be eating as well as possible.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna come in here with no Captain Crunch or no mayonnaise sandwich or none of that, because I ain't trying to have diabetes, to be completely frank. And like you said, this is what, $15? $15. Between 15 and 20 for all these fish. Compared to the fillet that you might get, you're paying for the labor of them to cut it up, and now you're paying $20, $25 for just 2 fillets of whatever you're getting when you can just make this at home. And one fish is usually good for one person. Yeah. So we outside.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this this lemon, okay? So.
Do you cook a lot?
It depends on my schedule, to be completely frank. I mean, I have the thought to cook a lot, and then I'll be like, I'm gonna order this Chipotle, cause it's right there. But I think meal prepping is important, so you can try to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need a lot of lemon, especially since
I meal prep on Sundays.
Okay.
I have this new thing where I try to do all my cooking for the week on one day.
Okay.
And it helps for a multitude of reasons. One, I'm not cleaning dishes, but two, when you're constantly on the go, to be able to just reach in your fridge and have your meals already prepped and know they're nutritious and taste great, it's amazing. And it only takes one day, which is only like 2 hours, and then all the dishes go in the dishwasher, you're done. And everything's reset.
Yeah, then you just got to make sure you eat it so it don't go bad.
Yeah, for the most part now, I've learned because of economic circumstances, I don't cook more or buy more than I can eat in a week,
That's very smart.
Yes. Before I used to buy everything and just watch it all go bad.
Okay, get this sticker off of here.
Mm-hmm. So where does Cross tape?
Cross tapes in Toronto.
Okay.
Mostly in Toronto, but then we do our exteriors and stuff in DC. And I know this year they went to some other countries to film some special stuff for season 2. So we outside.
Okay. Where do you live?
Me, I live in Koreatown in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. How do you like Toronto?
I love Toronto. It felt like living in a more mature America.
Really?
Yeah, when you go to other parts of the world, like it definitely feels like another planet. Like when I was in Hong Kong, that's a completely different culture, lifestyle. Same thing in Ghana or South Africa or whatever. But Toronto is still a Western civilization. It's just they have infrastructure that we don't have here. And you're like
what?
Like being able to take the bus and the train and have public transit. Healthcare.
That's how New York is. Oh, okay.
These things that they say will destroy our country are making their country thrive very well. So
healthcare is free over there?
Yeah.
So who's packing to go?
Me, I'm packing.
So would you move there?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
So why are you still here? Because of the acting?
I think for a lot of reasons, I built something. My family's here. There's a lot of hoops you have to go through in trying to move to another country.
But you have a work visa over there, right?
Yeah, but that's a work visa. I think that joint expires after a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay.
So okay, we got this.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna let y'all know what he did. He just cut some lemons.
Yeah, the lemons. Yeah,
he sliced them too.
We sliced them up. So now we're about to get into scoring these fish. Okay, so you want to put some. That's basically putting slits in the fish so that the oil and stuff can get inside the cavity. All right. So I'm gonna take one of these.
He used the big words. He said cavity, guys.
Yeah. So
that the cavity, I'm guessing, is the body of the fish.
Yeah. The inside body cavity. You know what I mean?
Body cavity. That makes sense. So he's cutting little slits.
And normally
it looks like little rib marks.
Yeah.
Our knife may not be that sharp. He's discovering what eating while broke knives are made of right now.
Yeah, but we all right. So you got some.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah. So when you get it on both sides.
When was the last time you made this?
Maybe a few months ago. I kind of got it in my my blood and bones now.
So when we go to your house, do you have that many seasonings?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so excited about how many seasonings you use.
Okay, so that's...
Okay, that looks great.
Number 1. All right. Bring other little homie over here.
So today he's going to cook us 3 fish. That's one for me, one for him, and one for the after picks.
Yeah, we outside. Also, y'all, when y'all cutting this, don't be doing this while you're watching TV or something. Slice your hand off.
Why? Because
it's slippery. Yeah, it's slippery. It is. So, and I'm not, none of us are the people on the Food Network. So.
And are you supposed to cut down to like the little spinal bone?
You don't want to cut too deep. You don't want to cut too deep. You just want to make an opening so the oil has somewhere to go inside.
Got it. That knife is pretty bad, huh?
It's all right.
Oh, okay. Are you excited about eating this?
Very much so. I didn't eat today.
Okay. Before you came, I had sardines in rice paper.
Okay.
That was what
I had
ate in the
matcha.
shoot prior. So today's a fishy
day.
Fishy day.
Okay.
Okay, guys, watching him cook. So take me back to what were you doing in Ghana?
Me, I was there. My ex-girlfriend at the time, it was her mother's 50th birthday.
Okay.
So we were going there to celebrate that. Also, we were adult mentors for a youth program that was leaving DC. So we were chaperoning and working with the kids as well while we were down there. So it was super dope.
How long were you there for?
I think like 2 weeks.
Okay.
We were in Accra. We were in
what?
Accra, the capital of Ghana.
Okay.
We were in Kumasi City, and then we were in Cape Coast to see the slave castles. Yeah.
How was that?
It's a history lesson, and it's very informative. I think, especially to the Western eye. I think we have a very academic idea of what slavery was like, what the Middle Passage was like, what the slave trade was like, and then when you see those slave castles, you see it's a lot more dastardly than what you could have ever imagined, especially because a lot of those slave castles were also churches. So where they would torture women would be right next to where the pastor would sleep. So, yeah. We coming.
How did that change your views?
I don't think it changed my views at all.
It just opened your eyes?
Yeah, it opened your eyes even more. Because like I said, it's one thing to talk about bigotry and those kind of things in an academic sense. Like I got this answer right in school. Mm-hmm. It's a completely different thing to see it firsthand. You know what I mean? And to see with that structure and to be able to touch the wall and to be able to go inside one of those dungeons. And like, for example, we all shower every day, mm-hmm. but the group we went inside the dungeon is so hot and musky that it starts stinking in 10 minutes. You can see the line to where how like feces and blood and all that stuff would raise up off the floor. So you get those actual physical details that are very often hidden from our history and hidden from us, especially as Black and brown people, in the Western context. So.
Wow. So, have you been back?
Yeah, I was just in, not to Ghana specifically, mm-hmm. but I was just in South Africa.
Okay.
Which was a beautiful place. Speaking of really great food that you never had, I had warthog for the first time, mm-hmm. ostrich, all kind of stuff. Okay, did we score both sides of these?
Yeah.
Make sure. Okay, boom, we outside. So now that these joints are scored, now it's time to oil the heck out of these bad boys, okay? So you don't want no dry fish. So that's when you get this avocado oil right here. And if I had a brush, I would, mm-hmm. do all that. But so I'm just going boom like this.
Now, do you have to do both sides when you do that?
Yes. This is just like lotioning your knees, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You got to make sure you don't want no ashy parts.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to massage it?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little massage.
And it's not going to come out oily even though you put in that much oil?
Nah.
I would feel like a real chef if I were you right now. Like,
me?
I mean, it looks legit.
Well, hopefully, we're going to see. I've never done it with this kind of pressure, but I like it.
And I judge the dish, and I'm very honest.
Please judge it. If it's whack, be like, look, man, this is whack. He came here and did all this foolishness.
I'm going to be like, he used all 37,000 seasonings, and it still tasted bland.
Still sucks.
Okay, that is really oily.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be that oily.
Yeah. Boom, we outside.
Do you ever eat the head or the eyeballs?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it today?
Yeah. This experience, the thing that I like about it is it's very community oriented. Mm-hmm. Normally, again, here, a lot of indigenous peoples in the diaspora, they ate together. Mm-hmm. Whereas eating the filet this is my plate. Mm-hmm. Where when I ate this in Ghana, now all of a sudden it reminds me of like a crab boil because you have to go slow because of the bones and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so now you're in conversation, you're in community. I'm taking some of your fish, you taking this part of the fish, and we're all eating this together. And that's one of the things I really like about making the dish.
Oh, you guys ate the fish together?
Yeah. I mean, you can eat it by yourself, but then also, like I said, if you and your partner, are cooking whole fish. Now you're gonna be eating this part, this, that, and the third. So
yeah,
we outside. All right, so now it's time to season this thing. Where do I want to start? I think I'm gonna start with. Oh, here's the salt right here. We outside. How much is coming out of here? Okay.
Yeah, when I pour salt, I do this. I pour it like kind of into my palm and let it bounce off.
Yeah.
Just in case I pour too much, I can save it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm usually very light with salt because I like to taste
the flavor of the meat.
Actual flavors instead of just So.
I heard salt helps bring out the flavor, right?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, I think you have to remember that a lot of stuff that we have has salt already in it. So like for example, if you go get a can of beans has a lot of salt and sodium already in it.
Yeah.
So you have to get it without the salt so that then you can put your desired amount of salt in there. So, I think I'm gonna do this one side each. Oh, that's last. Okay, we're going Okay, where's these paper towels?
Where you end up learning how to make it, were you in someone's house watching them make it every day or something?
No, I was on a beach, if I remember correctly. I was on a beach, and they were pulling this right out the ocean and going straight to town. And so, I had heard of whole fish before, but it felt like this very far away.
Yeah.
I'm at a, elegant restaurant situation. So then when they were doing it, it was just regular folk eating, out the thing. So...
Do you go fishing?
No. My dad was supposed to take me when we were young, but he never did. So if you seeing this, where's my fishing trip, dog?
Are you close with your dad?
Pretty much so. Yeah. I think we had a tough relationship growing up, but I think people grow. You meet them where they are, and
what made it tough?
I think sometimes it's hard for generations to combine, especially if you don't have the same ideas about masculinity and stuff that your parents have. So yeah, he was a hard man, for in many respects. So yeah, it just made some of the things, the grown up experience a little tough. But I'm one of those kind of cats to where that is what that is. But you got to move on, and you got to put your focus on your work. You got to put the focus on the people that matter to you. You know what I'm saying, and keep it pushing.
Did you go through therapy?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think that's necessary to a degree, and I only say that because sometimes capitalism wants therapy to take the place of actually making people's lives better. It's hard to therapize somebody that's having issues because they're poor or because they can't, because their friend was shot by the police, because they can't afford health care, etc. So a lot of times capitalism tries to commodify our problems so that they don't actually have to fix them. So yeah.
When did you start going to therapy?
I went to therapy after the pandemic.
After? That was
that's
recent.
Right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like 2020, I believe. Yeah. And I was in it for two years straight, basically.
What made you get into it?
My relationship with my career, and then also I was coming out of a breakup at the time. So I thought, I would be talking about the breakup and what's going on with that, and then come to find out you have more things you need to unpack. But the thing I will always remember that my therapist said is that you're kind of like a baby bird, right? Like you're in this place so that you can learn how to fly. You can always come back and fine tune or re-go over some other things, but this is about giving you the tools to fly. And she said, be wary of people that say you should be in therapy continuously, over and over and over and over and over again, because the idea is to go out there and put these tools into practice. So I think the thing that I got from therapy that I didn't have before are tools to be able to deal with the highs and lows of life, of family, of your career, because I often say you can't control your emotions, but you can control how you react to those emotions.
Yeah.
We outside. Got this cumin right here.
I never hear guys say, like, I don't want to stereotype, but you never hear guys say like they went to therapy after a breakup, because you always just assume guys handle them.
That's what we're taught. Yeah.
They look like they handle them pretty well, at least. I would never think like a boyfriend would be like, after a breakup, I'm going to go to therapy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think...
I don't think I know anyone that's ever done it. That's a male.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm all about elevation. And so, and also sometimes your heart is hurting.
Yeah.
And you have to acknowledge that, and you have to figure out how you're going to, like I said, move forward. And so there were things about that relationship that needed to end, but because I recognized that, there are ways that you can then improve yourself moving forward. You feel me? And not just in a relationship standpoint, just as a person. So you know how to show up at work, how to show up in really any situation. So, because everything we're doing is relationship based. Okay.
Now you're only seasoning the one side?
No, I'm just doing it all at once, so that then I don't have to keep flipping and flipping and flipping. Yeah.
I'm learning.
See, she was testing me. She was like, "Oh, so you gonna have a naked side, huh? So you gonna have one side naked?"
I'm learning. It looks really good, guys. It almost looks like he has a breading kind of formed. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to, but he has a lot of seasoning on this fish.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned with this. It can seem like you're gonna over season it, but every recipe I've ever tried, they're like, you need to season the out of this thing so that you can make sure you get the flavors infused inside. So got this turmeric up in here.
So take me to acting. Were you acting before you went to Ghana?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I've always been an artist. I started my career as a spoken word poet.
Okay.
So yeah, I was on stages when I was 14, 15 years old. I remember seeing Saul Williams in the movie Slam. And I think it was 98 at the time. It was at Sundance, and they did a special screening in Portland. I was in this Rites of Passions program. And I was like, yo, I want to be able to do that. Because in the movie, he's about to get jumped in this prison yard, and he breaks out into this poem. And it's so dope that everybody's brain is like, I don't know what I just saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be able to do that. And so that's what took me to college. And in college, I got...
What do you mean it took you to college? Like you were winning competitions?
Oh, yeah, I was winning competitions and stuff, but the arts is what took me to school. I knew I wanted to be a storyteller. I knew I wanted to be a writer and those things. But I didn't start acting until I got to Temple. So when I got there, I was performing, and a teacher saw Temple University in Philadelphia.
Okay.
That's where I went to. That's where I got my graduate degree, or my undergrad degree, after I went to USC for a year. And they stole all my scholarship monies. But anyway.
Who, USC did?
Yeah. These schemes they be running. Sometimes they'll recruit students and say, hey, we can get you this amount of scholarship money, boom, 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 if you get down here. And then when you get down there, they're no longer of assistance. So a lot of my independent scholarship money that I had when I was going to SC, I used it that first semester and couldn't find any more funding for the rest of my stay, so I had to transfer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a good decision?
It was a good decision because I didn't spend
thousands and thousands
hundreds of thousands of dollars. But yeah, so I think it sucks. Many people are...
Were you heartbroken over that? Or you felt like... did it hurt?
I thought it sucked.
Yeah, I would feel like it sucks to be like, yo,
but it's like
denied an education because
you get hustled. And I think a lot of times we talk about hustle, there's TV shows about hustlers, from Power to all these kinds of stuff, but there's no hustlers, there's no TV shows or documentaries and things like this about the hustlers that are uber wealthy. The schemes that these universities can be running to get people's money, to raise tuition rates and things like that. The schemes of oil companies, those cats are the real people hustling for real. They're poisoning water, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's just a part of my journey, but I like to tell the truth about it. You know what I'm saying?
I like that you tell the truth about it. I don't think enough people talk about it. I don't even think people value college degrees the way they once were valued.
Yeah, and I think that's a gift and a curse.
Why?
Well, university isn't the only way you should be educated, but I also think that is a form of, trying to devalue intellectualism. This idea that that there's no expertise on things. If I need help about astrophysics, I'm gonna talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson. You feel me? If I need help with basketball, I'm gonna ask LeBron James. I'm not gonna ask the dude doing the podcast about basketball. You know what I mean? So yes, I think learning is valuable and it shouldn't cost as much. I mean, one thing most people don't know was when Reagan was governor of California, you can actually go back and listen to government tapes where they're saying we need to, because public school used to be free, and most people don't know this. And they made it cost so much because too many black and brown people and too many women were getting educated. And you can actually go listen to the tapes where they're saying, we can't have this. We can't have an educated electorate. We can't do this. So that's when they started making everything for profit. And so, you know, when you get into these kinds of conversations and you find out what's going on, you realize how, like I said, insipidous things can be.
Wow.
We outside. All right, so let me season the other side.
What do you keep saying? Season the other side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we outside. This is my cousin got me saying that after the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been saying that a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have our tics.
So what happened at Temple where you ended up wanting to get into acting?
Professor saw me performing some poetry and asked me to. She said that she thought I should audition for this August Wilson play called Jitney, and that's how it started. It was a hobby at first. Then you realize you're pretty good at it. You know, I was in film school also at the time, and so when it came to grad school, I decided to apply to grad programs and drama programs, and I was like, whoever gives me the most money, that's where I'm going. And I got into all the top drama programs and decided to go to UCSD at the La Jolla Playhouse because at the time, Yale, UCSD, and NYU did a showcase together. And so for me, I was like, it don't matter which one I go to, as long as I get into the showcase, I'm gonna be shining. Yeah. And so that's what happened.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna let you say the seasonings back to back on what you're doing. You started with turmeric, now you're moving over to pepper.
Yeah, now I'm moving to pepper. I put some toom on here. Trying to pepper this thing. I already put the salt on this side. But like I said, for me, it's just tough having to flip it each time with the seasoning, so you do it back to back. And this, as you can see, this dish is mostly about the preparation of it.
Yeah, because once you're done, you're gonna just stick it in the
oven. Because once
you're
done, I'm just gonna stick it in there. Yeah.
And what's the next season? You got it.
This is chili powder.
Yep. You're gonna take over the cooking. You're gonna do your cooking thing, announcing the ingredients.
Yeah, boom. This is chili powder. Now I'm going to this garlic powder.
And guys, just so you know, he's like putting a lot of seasoning. It's not like he's just doing a dash or two.
Yeah, you really got to season this thing. I'm going to the cumin now, folks. I really do love cumin.
Can I try like a dash of it? I just want to see what it tastes like plain. Okay.
Boom. It's like cumin's actually one of my favorite situations. How are you feeling about that? Now I'm going with
Not
some
the way
dill.
I had it. Maybe on the food. Have you tried it plain?
No, I don't think I've ever just put seasonings in my mouth. No, I don't.
Try it just to.
No, I don't think I've ever just took pepper and was like.
I'm just saying, like how I just tried it. Trust me, if you tried it that way, you would not. Okay, what was the next one? Dill.
Is dill.
By the way, I love dill, guys. I use dill on any time I'm cooking any type of fish.
Okay, now we got the cayenne. I'll do a little bit of that for some kick.
I'm so excited about this meal.
Boom, boom, boom. And I think that's everything. So now I'm gonna add some cinnamon.
The cinnamon is what threw me.
Yeah, I like to experiment with.
Oh, you put a lot of cinnamon.
And the best part is you do one side of the cinnamon so that if you want to flop between the tastes, you have it on both sides. You don't have it on both sides. All right, now that we've done that, now this is the part people forget. See how inside is all naked? Yeah. You got to season the inside as well.
With all the seasonings?
As many as you like. So I'm going to put some turmeric up in here, and then you put your fresh herbs and stuff inside of here.
I don't want to get ahead, but I'm curious, where did the lemons come in?
You about to see.
Okay. So you're doing turmeric on the inside.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want them looking plain and dry. Yeah, well, nothing's dry on this fish. You can see the fish actually absorb some of the oil, though, already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess now it makes sense why you bathed it in oil. All I know is if this tastes great, anyone that's coming to my house for the next week. I want to cook whole branzino.
Yeah, you should
I only buy the fillets, but I feel like if you teach me this, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Folks gonna be eating whole fish.
Wait, that's cumin. Wait, what was the other one you put? Turmeric?
That was turmeric, yeah.
And cumin. Oh, that's the one. Cumin is the one I tried, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, is that oven still preheating?
Oh, no, look like it turned off. Can we get that joint back home?
See if Katie allowed. What? She said, don't get up. Salt, okay.
Okay.
I'm sure my father is here today. I'm pretty sure he's waiting for this fish. He ain't leaving the studio, I'll tell you that much.
Chili
Maybe
powder.
he's not. Is he here?
I don't know. He was, but oh my gosh.
Hit the preheat button.
Yeah.
I don't hear a cough, so maybe he left. Usually you hear a
Okay. Is that what I want to put up in there? I'm going to go without the pepper because I can't, do it. Oh, yeah, this is what I want. This.
I love dill.
I'm glad we got, you don't like the cumin, but you like the dill, so we outside.
I love dill. I think it just adds so much extra to it. That dill's actually from my house, by the way.
Okay. Well, it's got some special love on it.
You know?
Okay, so now that we've done this, we've seasoned it on the inside. Now I come
with the garlic.
With the garlic, the minced garlic, and I take this and I put it on the inside.
Oh, you put a lot. Yeah. He ain't playing.
Inside the cavity. Boom, boom, boom.
I feel like you could cook.
I mean, you can do anything you put your mind to. I think.
You put it inside the fish head.
Yeah, because it's meat up in there. Also, too, you put
a lot of garlic.
Yeah, I'm a big garlic fan.
Also, but I noticed on this dish you didn't have no onions.
Yeah, I mean, you can put onions, you can do tomatoes, you can do, I think the cool thing about this dish is you can customize it any way you want. It's like, how do you want your fish to taste? You know what I mean? And so.
What if I wanted to put, butter on the inside?
By all means, put some butter up in there.
I feel like butter makes everything taste better.
Put some butter up in there. Buttery mud,
Do you ever go on YouTube and just pull up?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best things you can do. Yeah. So if you're talking about eating while broke, I go into the store and whatever's on sale. For example, if beets are on sale and you can get 5 beets, all you got to do is pull up a recipe on how do you cook beets, and you can have beet steaks that night. And then also, you're having something incredibly healthy that's good for you. You can eat the beet tops. You can eat carrot tops.
Do you actually shop like that, though?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially when you realize that I don't mean to keep taking things to this place.
Please do. It's educating us.
Yeah, when you realize that the grocery stores have a monopoly and they can arbitrarily raise the price on things, you have to do things to protect yourself. And I feel like, especially if we're talking about being broke, and no diss, but the vast majority of we've been having these conversations about SNAP benefits and things like that, right? In the last several weeks, most people, the vast majority of people are a paycheck away from being on the street.
Yeah.
Right? And we speak about these things as if that's not the case. And just because you're an actor or entertainer or whatever, we're just as susceptible. People think we make a lot more money than we're making. And you saw during the strikes that took place several years ago, a lot of people were about to lose their homes, etc. So you got to kind of keep these things. You got to keep these things in mind. Yeah. And so for me, especially with so many of our heroes and sheroes passing away before they should pass from pancreatic cancer and all these diseases that are, in my opinion, preventable to some degree. We got to stop eating the processed foods, and we got to start trying to, and also it's more fun. Like you can have ramen one night, and then the next night you're having beets with carrot tops or whatever. So recipes are always great, and being able to not be too prideful to not learn some stuff. Yeah. I love to learn. So
I like the way you think about shopping, though. It's different. I never thought of just saying, hey, this is on sale. Let me see what dishes I can make with this. You love that garlic. He's going to go through the whole thing of garlic for sure.
You got this whole small little garlic up in here. Okay.
So does garlic not I don't know, if I eat a lot of garlic, some people when they eat a lot of garlic, they just smell like garlic nonstop.
Nah, this is not going to smell like garlic. It's going to be, It has it.
No, I'm saying you. Like if you eat a lot, it'll like pour through your skin. You can smell it.
I don't have that. I mean, you talking like it's asparagus or something. When you eat asparagus, your pee stank. But it is what it is. But yeah. All right. So here we go. So now with these.
Now with the lemons.
The lemons go inside.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, this looks like something you take a picture of on Instagram, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have, a little food trap. You gotta, let the daddies know.
Do girls ever slide into your DMs over your dishes?
Well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I think women can be a little bit more. How do you say?
Slick,
yeah. With oh my God, it looks so delicious. I would love to taste that sometime, and you're like, all right, well, we could be outside.
If I walk away from this interview saying we could be outside, I'm gonna be so mad.
Hey, you can thank my cousin for that.
Okay. So take me back. So you passed the showcases, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
You murder them? You mollywop them?
I murdered. I did a sketch, this Alec Baldwin sketch from the CD, about Alec. This character, he's a boss. He's a boss at a company, and he goes down into the mailroom and he takes a test and he realizes that he's legally retarded, like legally.
Oh my gosh!
So it was super funny, and so I did that to contrast a scene from the last days of Judas Iscariot, where Judas is on trial for it's a Stephen Edley Gierges play, and Judas is on trial for the murder of Jesus. It's a very brilliant play, and there's this really great scene between Judas and the devil at a bar, and yeah, I played Judas. And
you nailed it.
Oh, absolutely.
You killed it.
That's why I'm here talking to you.
So then what happened after that?
After that, you start auditioning.
Okay. You start auditioning for
roles, TV shows and stuff.
But I don't understand, why does it happen after that?
Well, because you need an agent, a manager, those kinds of things. And so the showcase. Also, too, I put lemon underneath.
Okay.
So the bottom gets the lemon flavor as well.
Mm-hmm. Yo, honestly, we could upload this whole video to YouTube. Be funny if I uploaded it and it started like getting a gazillion views, and then I'm just making money off your.
Well, I wouldn't say it's mine. It's it's the people's. You feel me?
It's the people's.
It's the people's.
It looks so good though.
I'm glad we outside. Did I cut enough of this lemon? I hope so.
Well, you have more.
Yeah, I do. It's just where stuff like that, where I'm like, oh, I'm not a professional, because I don't know how they be cutting with not dry hands and the whole nine. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we got that. And then now we get this rosemary off of here.
I forgot about the rosemary.
Yeah, you thought it was just over here chilling. Mm-hmm. Now you take this, put it inside as well.
This dish is going to be amazing. I just know it.
Good.
You ever see a dish on TV and then you're like, you kind of not start salivating, but you kind of like.
You see, fellas, sometimes you gotta be out here and cook a little something else. She gonna be on the couch like, wait a minute,
let me tell you something. A quick way to my heart is cooking easy.
Hey, y'all.
Cooking easy.
All right, look, y'all, I didn't be here 20 minutes. Already getting to the heart. We outside.
I'm telling you right now, he been here at least 40 minutes cooking this dish. By the way, he taking I think it's taking him. Johnny, I think it's taking you at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes just to do the prep on this.
Yeah, but like I said, for me, it's the fun part. You know what I'm saying? You got your TV show on. You're having good conversation. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you right now, you do this with a chick, she's slam dunk. This is a slam dunk. You do the prep in front of her, without a doubt.
Boom. All right, I think
there you go.
And then let me get some more napkins.
We about to eat.
How
long we gonna have this in there for?
About 20 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah. Especially if you have it on 450, cooks really quick.
Okay. Do you have to flip it?
Nah.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and.
Oh, I know what you're about to do.
What's that?
You're gonna cut it in half and squeeze it all over the fish.
No.
Oh.
But that was nice though. That was nice.
You're gonna do more slices?
Yeah, just on top.
Okay. All right. So you get an agent and manager off of the showcases?
Yeah, I got an agent, and my third audition, I auditioned for a show called Harry's Law with Kathy Bates. I booked it and I had to move to LA. I was about to go on tour.
From where?
From
Florida.
No, the showcases you have 2 showcases, one in LA, one in New York. And so I was in San Diego at the La Jolla Playhouse. That's where I got my master's in theater. Okay. And so I had to get up to LA, and then that's when the nomadic journey of being an artist, or at least being an actor started.
What's your family dynamic looking like? You seem like your foundation is so solid.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you mean like what I hope to accomplish, or you mean like my family growing up?
Your family growing up.
That's where I give a big shout to my mom. My mom did everything she could to make sure that we were in programs and things like that elevated our minds and, put us on the right path. You feel me? She went through a lot, growing up in the Bay, and I think she wanted us to have, the most opportunity possible. So I put that, on her, and some of those programs that I was in were very impactful, for my life and my development. So, we outside.
It was a single parent household or?
No. My dad was there, but, my dad, I think, was more so focused on being the authoritarian and all that. And so, my mom was focused on the more nuanced
What's
parts
nuance? Like
like education and making sure you're there to support people's endeavors and things like that. And I think a lot of times, especially in older generations, people focus too much on discipline as opposed to trying to figure out what their kids like and how to rear them up, the right way.
Yeah.
So
I like that. Do you have kids?
Nah, no kids for me. I got plants though.
He didn't even say a pet. He said a plant. I guess with your work schedule. Yeah. Okay, so you get the agent and the manager. How are you supporting yourself financially?
Just I've been very lucky to have an apartment that don't cost a lot. I keep my cost of living low.
I like that.
I got the Toyota Prius 2001 outside. Ain't never had a new car. Okay. So that I can galley van, do what I want to do.
Okay. So you're very structured with your spending.
Yeah.
So you're good with cash flow.
Yeah. So you want to make sure, like, I'd rather go to France or go to Ghana or go to South Africa.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're very well traveled.
Then I don't know, keep up with the Joneses. And so again, that's thankful to my mom, thankful to Rites of Passage and things like that to put your mind on the right track.
What's Rites of Passage?
It was a process that I went through, an African-based Rites of Passage program. It was the largest Rites of Passage program west of the Mississippi when I was growing up, and it's a process of going from boyhood to manhood. There were 7 barometers of manhood. The best way I can get civilians to understand is like when people cross and become omegas and alphas and all that stuff, the Divine Nine, they go through a process and they come out the burning sands and they're an omega and alpha. And that process is based off of Rites of Passage, which is an indigenous and African ritual of going from boyhood or girlhood to womanhood or manhood. Most people know in like movies, like I killed a lion, now I'm a man. Yeah. Well, this was a modern day version of that.
What'd you have to do in there?
1 second. So right. This is it. This is it. All right. So now can I put it in this oven?
Yes.
Okay. We good.
After you get your manager and agent. Yeah. What is your first role?
My first role is I play a character named Damian Winslow on Harry's Law, a show. Harry's Law with Kathy Bates. It was on NBC. It was a fun show. Amela Mean is in it. Brittany Snow. So yeah, that's the first time people saw me on TV.
And how are you supporting yourself leading up to that?
Money from leftover scholarship loans and yeah, I mean we got paid from the show. I think it was 5,000-6,000 episodes, something like that. So just being judicious with
your money. You didn't get any day jobs or anything during this whole acting?
No. I've never really had a day job. I never had where I was a waiter or anything like that. When I was in school, it was about school. Okay. I didn't want to. It's funny. You can even ask my mom this too. She would be trying to get me to get a job or something like that, and I would say, if I gave you $55 to stand on the corner for 8 hours, would you do it?
No.
Exactly. So why are you working at Ralph's?
Yeah.
For the same amount of money.
Yeah.
You're there for 8 to 10 hours. After taxes, they're gonna
Yep.
It's
By
going to
the
be
way,
$6.
I worked at a grocery store once. The check came back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
And that's not to say that those jobs aren't valuable.
Yeah.
They're incredibly valuable, as we saw during the pandemic. It's just about what is your specific path? What is it that you want to do? And I wanted to be a writer and filmmaker and an actor. So when I was in school, I only had one work study program that I did, and I was just at a hospital, and I like that because I got to sort chemicals and medicine, and that was me learning. But other than that, I haven't had really too many side jobs, so I could keep my time for the work. I've taught at university a few times, that helps supplement, but stuff comes up, and I think if your mindset is right, and like I said, you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you keep your cost of living down, it helps out a lot more.
So you spend majority of your time focused on your purpose.
That's what I was trying to do, yeah.
And your mom, has she moved away from saying, hey, try a different stream of income?
Oh no, she don't say that. She don't say
not
that
right now.
Yeah. And also too, to her credit, she was the one that was coming to my plays. I'm from Portland, so I a lot of time, all of us are spending our time trying to get to LA or New York. So when I meet people from around the world, I be like, look, man, we was all trying to get to the same place. So most people don't got the money to be traveling from Portland to New York or Portland, to LA, especially back then. So she was the first person, that believed. When I was in high school, people wanted me to be, an anesthesiologist, a doctor, a lawyer, because they knew I was, intellectually inclined.
I was going to say, you're very intellectual.
Oh, thank you. That's just because I read books.
Very noticeable, yeah.
So, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. And I think as I'm grateful for her as a parent to be like, okay, this is what he wants to do. I'm going to support it. And then you find out that I'm good at it. All right, cool. We outside. So, yeah. Let's see.
You know how they have a curse jar?
Oh, really? We got to go.
We're going to have a we outside,
is it gonna be outside?
jar for you. Okay? Okay. So your mom played a critical, pivotal role in where you are today.
Absolutely.
What was some of the hiccups on the way to before Cross? Because Cross ended up being huge.
Yeah. The strikes. I remember I actually was taking screenshots of my bank account during the strikes post the pandemic. The pandemic is a hiccup. I had like $800 in my bank account.
The pandemic was rough.
Yeah, it was rough for a lot of people. And it's funny, people try to start editing that out of their experience. I don't hear a lot of people talking about the pandemic anymore. I know it was very traumatic for a lot of people, but it just shows how close all of us are to being the unhoused person that we walk past on the street. Here in Los Angeles, I think there's like 75,000 homeless people.
There's a lot.
Unhoused, yeah. And the perception is that that's somebody that didn't do well with their finances, or they did this,
drugs,
or did drugs.
A lot of it's healthcare too.
And a lot of it is healthcare. A lot of it is the schemes that landlords can run. People not being able to afford housing. Like I said, you're one check from having that situation happen to you. So yeah, and I think the hardships are just, it's really tough to be an artist. It's really tough to be an artist, especially, an artist that wants to do substantive work. Like I said, we don't get paid nearly as much as people think we get paid.
Yeah.
And also too, you're battling that perception, because, most people are showing the red carpets and stuff. They're not going to show when they lose their health insurance.
No.
Which happened to me, several years ago, because with SAG-AFTRA, for example, you have to make a certain amount of money
just to keep it?
To keep your health insurance.
Oh, wow.
And so the way some things, work, you might make $100,000 one year, right? But that $100,000 might have to last you for 4 years, right?
For 4 years.
Yeah, because you might not work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you might, that $100,000 is for that year, but then if the next year you make $22,000 a year, now you don't have health insurance. You see what I'm saying?
But would you qualify for Medi-Cal?
Yeah, Medi-Cal and those kind of things. But
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then that gets hairy, because then it might take into account your total finances. So it's really a interesting conundrum. I forget the brother's name, but I just saw this brother on Instagram. He's done a bunch of movies. Was just talking about that he lost he got dropped from his agency and lost his health care with 2 kids and things like that. And so a lot of times people aren't thinking about those things because it's not swaggy to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so those are the hardships that come, along the way where you're like, all right, how am I going to I got to eat healthy because I can't have nothing happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I wonder if the actors, actresses, or artists talk about it behind the scenes. Like, is there like a community where you guys are like, man, this month, I haven't booked something in a while, or?
Yeah, we talk about it, but like I said, I think amongst all of us, just as a society in general, we do not talk about finances.
No.
It's about have a gold chain on, be swagging, be doing this, be doing that. And heck, the vast majority of people are barely hanging on.
Yeah.
So for me, navigating those hardships is about keeping it real with yourself, making sure that you have, a solid foundation financially, making sure you ain't buying shit you don't need to be buying. And so that's how I've been able to survive up until cross. Because like I said, after the strikes, and which came right after the pandemics, me and a lot of people were like, I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know how I'm about to survive. Also, too, you need community because sometimes you need to borrow money from somebody.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and that's where parents and friends and all that stuff comes into play. And so I thank the people that have helped me. I'm very gracious for them that have helped me. Along the way.
How do I word this? The way if you get a check, do you I know you travel. Is there a minimum you have to meet within yourself to say, okay, you know what, this year I'm going on a travel trip, or is there a minimum spend or budget? How do you do that? How do you incorporate that, which is great, into a continual thing that's a part of your...
Yeah. I think it depends on what's happening from year to year. Some years you be like, I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere. I gotta sit inside. I did that just to mess with you. But then when you do travel, it's about how do you travel. Like sometimes you can travel with a friend, and a $10,000 trip is now $4,000 because you guys are splitting things. And you know what I mean, or $5,000, I should say. You don't have to fly first class.
Yeah, for sure.
You can fly. You can get there just as fast and just as nice in economy plus. So I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, but you just have to be cognizant of what's going on. I mean, in LA, going out to dinner, you can spend $250 easy.
If you eat out in LA, I don't even eat out anymore.
It's tough.
By the way, Chipotle was talking about that.
Okay,
I don't know if you read an article
about
it. Chipotle, the CEO was saying like, sales are down, but sales are down across because people are just not eating out anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's
smart.
I think you have to. I think at least for me, operating on a 20-year plan or a 25-year plan, I think is foolishness. I have no idea what's going to be happening 20 years from now. And so that's why I have an apartment, not a house.
But I was going to say, but a house is smart.
Sure. And again, that depends. I think you have to have those kind of conversations because, again, ask those people that couldn't pay their mortgage during the pandemic. And when you're in a financial meeting about what the 20-year cost of something is going to be, you don't factor in those real life situations where you could be laid off from your job. UPS laid off 20,000 people after they got their deal done. You're looking at the layoffs that are happening across the board in multiple sectors. So for me personally, and again, I don't have kids, I don't have any of those kinds of things. For me, it was more valuable to be like, I want to be able to just pick up and leave if I need to. I know I can pay this $1,500 in rent and cool. Yeah.
But I will say though, I think spending sometimes gets tricky, and there has to come a point where you say why. Like if you're buying a house, I think the traditional thing is that you're buying a house that you can afford. Like a lot of people, they'll go to a bank. The bank will say, oh, you're employed. When you're employed, typically you qualify for more home versus entrepreneurship. But the foolish thing you do is you're employed. It's definitely like not a 20-year, 25-year plan. So if you're buying a $1 million home, you're up right now. When you're down, yes. But if you can find a home that you can afford, like if it's comparable to what you're paying in rent that you're comfortable at, then yes, because then you get equity.
Yeah,
then you're making money while you sleep.
It's a nuanced conversation until they come in and want to build a freeway through your neighborhood. You know what I mean? So like I just always feel like for me it's smart. For me it's smart to plan for all the things that can happen to a black and brown person in this country. And a lot of times we speak as if they won't take something of yours through eminent domain or like I said, the pandemic. If you went back to 2018 and said there's going to be a worldwide pandemic that shuts everything down, people would have said that for 2 years, that would have been crazy. Yeah. And so imagine the people that did have a job at those particular times and were projecting out 10 years and then all of a sudden it didn't go that way. So I'm just saying, don't think about your life in a vacuum. You have to think about it in a way that infuses politics and racism and sexism and all the things.
I am taken back though a little bit because on one hand you embody like a lot of faith, right? But then there's this other side that seems like it semi embodies like almost embracement of fear of the unknown.
It's not fear of the unknown. It's what isn't. It is. It is
fear
what
controlled a little bit.
Nah, it's what's known. It's just knowing history.
Okay.
You feel me? So people were surprised by the pandemic because they didn't know about the other pandemics that happened in history.
One of those. Yeah.
People are surprised about.
There was another one?
Yeah, I mean there was. We could talk about Ebola in West Africa, etc. People are surprised about strikes because they don't know about the strike history of the United States. People are surprised about police violence because they don't know the history of police violence in the United States. I can go on and on and on. So
you're saying that your structure comes from knowing your history, the history. So it's not fear-based. It's more like based on history, I can predict
that this might happen to me. So maybe this money that I'm getting right now, I need to make sure it can last me 10 years as opposed to just 3 or 4. Yeah. And just me and able to have the financial freedom to do whatever I want. And that's not for me to say that you shouldn't get a house or something since we're talking about homes. It's just that for me, I don't want to be tied to having to pay this. So now if I get that commercial that I did that I thought was going to give me all this money, now I have to go work as opposed to I can sit back and I can take my time and I don't have to go, I don't know, work at Chipotle.
I'm a definite firm believer in like keeping your overhead as low as possible. Like when I say I keep that overhead low, and I think that is the true, if you work for yourself, you have to. Yeah. Otherwise, you will end up filling out some resumes somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. How we got 5 more minutes to this fish.
5 more minutes. I'm hoping that this oven is hot enough, but I mean, we're gonna see. I had this same thing happen when I cooked this for Thanksgiving with my mom. Like my oven, because it's a gas oven, gets much hotter than her ovens would get. And so I had to be like, okay, now we need to do this. Okay, now we need to do this.
Did your family like the fish though?
They did. I was a superstar because at first when everybody came in, they did the same thing most people do. Oh my God, it's got the eyes on it, the tail. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to eat it? And then next thing you know, people tried it and was like, oh my God, this is really good. I didn't think you was going to be doing this. Boom, boom. So hopefully that's what happens.
Do they now ask you to bring the fish every year?
I mean, that's a tall task. I think that's a 1-year situation. I might come back.
But did they ever ask them?
Oh yeah, they've asked about it. Yeah. But
he's like, not again. Yeah, sorry.
That was just shout out to the women cooking because there's a lot going on.
What if your mom asked though?
Then I gotta do it.
Okay, cool. Just making sure she still gets.
I gotta do it.
So if she comes to town, she lives in Portland.
Yeah.
So if she comes to town, she's like, yo, I want the fish.
Then I gotta get the fish.
Okay, cool.
Mama gets what she wants now.
Okay, it's got 4 minutes. Why are you scared it's not gonna be cooked?
No, I just want to make sure it's cooked the way I want it to be cooked. Yeah. And I don't know this oven. This is Billy. I've never met Billy before.
Let me tell you something, Billy. I don't have a lot of faith in Billy, but I will say that one time, me and Mario cooked cakes in there, and I thought it was gonna take longer, and because of me, we burnt the cakes. So
I don't mind a little char now. I don't mind a little char because if the tail gets crispy and all that kind of stuff, those are.
Do you eat the fin?
Yeah, I actually really like the fin parts, especially when they get crispy. So yeah,
really, and you swallow it and everything.
Well, they crunches up in your mouth like a potato chip.
Look, I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do it all. I eat. So when you do Cross the show, what was that experience like?
It was fantastic. One of my favorites of my career. Big shout out to Ben Watkins and Aldous Hodge and everybody. Craig Siebels, everybody who was working on that, for giving me the autonomy to create the character that I created. It was a great experience with the cast. We were a well-oiled machine up there, and so hopefully, you know, everybody likes season 2 as much as they like season 1.
Yeah, and you're a series regular. How was that, knowing that?
I mean, it's nice, you know.
Get a consistent. Now, in a situation like this, you're still like wary, though, right?
Yeah, cause like, look at what's happening with the president. They're kidnapping little girls off elementary school stages. So I guess for me, the only thing that I would try to get across to people is that what's happening in your you don't live in a vacuum. So imagine all the things that are happening to folks can happen to you. And we're taught in this country to be individualized, like your voting rights being taken from the people in Florida and across the South, as if that can't affect you, right? So I'm always thinking about that, and a lot of times money doesn't shield you from having those experiences. I mean, Tyreek Hill almost got his arm broken on his way to the Miami Dolphins game, and he was in a Ferrari, and he's got millions of dollars and all that kind of stuff, but he wasn't shielded from that experience. He's still a black man in Florida, and I think a lot of times people's brains get twisted because they think that they've gotten enough money to prevent those problems from happening to them. Yeah. And you know, a lot of this stuff has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has to do with the circumstances that are going on in the country, and I think you need to care about those circumstances so that they don't happen to you, and then also don't happen to other people. Yeah,
I agree. Are you still doing spoken word?
I wish there were more places to perform out here in LA. But I'm working on an album.
You do Fly Poet?
Nah, I haven't been there. When I was thinking about going, I reached out to some folks, and I could be wrong totally. There was a lot of slam rules, and I'm not
What's a slam rule?
Like poetry slam, where the poem's got to be 3 minutes. You're in competition with other poets and things like that. Oh. And for me, I'm not the biggest fan of slamming, just because I think some stories need to be longer than 3 minutes, and I don't want to be penalized, because something's 4:15 or what have you. And again, I came up doing slam, so I understand. It's just that this space in my life, I'm not, whatever. But also, in that same vein, I'm working on an album right now. There'll be some poetry on it. So I'm excited about that. It's called Screenplays. It's a concept piece. That's a concept album. Oh.
I want to eat. I never wanted to eat so bad on the show.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about this album.
Yes, ma'am.
Come all the way back over here.
Yeah, so it's a concept piece called Screenplays. The conceit for it is a filmmaker goes to a studio to pitch movie ideas, and all those movie ideas are a song. So think of modern day Slick Rick. They're all storyline records.
That. Is it rap music too?
Yeah. Blended hip hop, jazz, spoken word. Each song kind of has its own flavor and theme. That's why I say modern day Slick Rick, because for me, I
love Slick Rick.
Yeah, Slick Rick meets Nas. So I'm very excited about I'm very excited about the record. The single that we're gonna have coming out, it's called Green Shoe Music. It's a tribute to the victims of the Uvalde shooting that took place in Uvalde, Texas in 2022. I wrote a record. There was a young girl in that shooting that was so unrecognizable that the only way they could recognize the body is from the green shoes that she was wearing, the green Converse. Oh, no. So I wrote a record from the perspective of those green Converses if they came to life, and are rapping about what took place and the reasons why these things continue to keep taking place.
Wow, that's creative. That's very artistic.
Yeah.
Are you doing this independently?
Yeah. Everything independent. I think that's the beautiful thing I will say about having a functioning career is that you can take some of that money and go do other things and not have to be worried about this needs to be on the radio. This has to fit some kind of metric. Whatever happens with the record is whatever happens with the record. And I think that's the way that art has to. That's how you should make art. You never really know what's gonna hit. You don't know what's gonna touch the hearts and minds of folks. And so you just need to write, work, be truthful, be earnest, and then put it out.
Do you have any ideas what you'd like to see come from it?
I just want to touch people. Like, at the end of the day, I'm forgetting the philosopher's name, but I just really feel like we're all water droplets in the ocean. We all grains of sand on the beach. And so it's just about playing your part. And so I'm hoping that, after my life expires here on this planet, I've played my part so that the future can be more equitable and be more elevated for other people. So I don't get into the hero worship, I suppose, as if during the Civil Rights Movement, Martin Luther King was the only one doing anything.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about, but there was Medgar Evers and all these people. Think about the hundreds of people that were on the Selma Bridge. We might not know those people's names, but they played a very significant part of getting us to where we are. So I just want to play my part, and so some of the music that we need, feeds that, and so I'll never forget seeing, Matthew McConaughey at the White House with those green Converse, and it reminded me of a Nike ad. And so that's where the record came from, so yeah.
Wow. You're deep. You're very deep. What advice would you give to someone trying to pursue acting or the entertainment industry besides living on a budget?
Yeah, live on a budget. Gosh dang it.
Uh-huh.
I would say determine very on what kind of artist you want to be. And what I mean by that is, do you want to do Rites commercials? Or do you want to do indie projects? Like, what do you want to say? What's your voice? And then I think by defining what that is, it'll help shape which way you want to go. And, you'll be doing Top Dog Underdog on stage versus this other project that is purely for capitalistic gain. And I think the faster you define, and again, that's not judging either one. It's just that a lot of times those things are contradictory to each other.
You mean the money versus the purpose?
I guess that's a more simplistic way to put it. I'm just, one does, I put it like this. I might not think you're going to be doing certain kinds of art if you're doing other kinds of art, if that makes sense. How do I say this? Because, it's so easy in this culture where people think you're dissing everything. And you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't see Meryl Streep in Skittles commercials.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she has decided to be a certain kind of artist, and by making that decision, it makes you're gonna say no to some things.
Yeah.
And I know that Denzel Washington said that your career as an actor, and I think this is about you as an artist as well. It's not about what you do; it's about what you say no to. You know what I mean? So there's just certain things that you will, once you define who you are, then you know that you're not gonna, you're gonna say, I don't think that's for me.
So in your current state, if say times were rough and someone proposed something that you couldn't see yourself doing, but the money was good, you would turn it down?
Yeah, it depends on what that is. Like obviously you have to, be realistic. So, if you got to do the Kool-Aid ad because you ain't, you're struggling a little bit, then cool. But if I'm struggling and somebody asks me to do a voiceover for the Republican Party, because that's a no, that's a negative. I can't do that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I like that you're firm. You're firm with
who
you are.
That's an absolute negative.
Yeah. And then at what point did you discover who you were and what your standards were?
Shoot, I think it's just ever evolving, constantly evolving, and I think it's going to change over time. Okay. So I think I've always known that I, believe in equality and equity and making beautiful work. And I think that I just get that from the ancestors, from Nina Simone to, down to Richard Pryor, down to, I seen Mahershala Ali the other day. When you see these, Titans and these stalwarts, like I said, they have a standard, and I want to continue, that standard. Even as an MC, from Black Thought to Dre Electronica to Mos Def, Yasin Now, was a big inspiration for me. And so, it's funny, I was on a panel with Malcolm Jamal Warner, God rest his soul. And when I was on that panel, I was talking about poetry. There's very rarely any poems about hoes, because it just sounds weird. You know what I mean? You would never be like, yeah, this hoe did this boom, boom. Nah, because we all know that poetry as an art form it sits in almost in a museum. Like it has to be about things that matter. It's hard to commodify and commercialize poetry in the same way that hip hop and rap and stuff has been, commercialized. So for me, I come from poetry, and 9 times out of 10, even if you're talking about relationships or any of that kind of stuff, it's about getting to the heart of the human condition, human understanding, human elevation, and it's not solely just a capitalistic,
Well, I never
endeavor.
thought of it like that. It never even occurred to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about a poem, think about all the poems that come to mind. And I think it was what's the good brother's name? He was in Training Day. I'm forgetting the brother, not Denzel, the other brother. I'm forgetting his name right now. But when he said, people rarely think about poetry until their mother passes away, until they have a broken heart, until they're trying to figure out how to, examine this emotion. And that is why poetry has always been here since the inception of humanity. I always say I wouldn't be surprised if we found out the whales got poetry inside the waves, inside the water droplets. You feel me? Maybe we'll figure that out in 100 years or something. But it just shows you how important art is. And it's unfortunate that now at this time that so much of the art that we do is not necessarily, it's geared toward simply, making money. And I think that's why we have so much of the finite topics that we can, talk about. So, yeah.
I agree. All right.
Okay, I think we good now. I hear some sizzling.
Let us
We
eat.
good. We got 2 minutes.
Let us
2 minutos.
Let us eat. Let us eat. I have never waited so long.
I'm my bad.
We usually have a limit on the show, like if you can't cook the dish in under 20 minutes.
Oh man, I didn't get that. My bad.
And we didn't know. We never had whole fish on the show.
Okay.
So respectfully, we've never done this before.
Okay.
But we do know this is a gourmet meal. This ain't no. Well, I guess it's a broke dish, but it doesn't feel like a broke dish.
And I think that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can be fly on a budget. It don't even have to be a budget. It's just so you can continuously keep being fly.
Yeah.
You don't want to be fly, and then now I see you. Unfly. You know what I mean? Like All right, we got a minute left.
It's ready. It is
sure?
ready.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let me take this out. I hope. Fingers crossed.
It's ready, man.
She got you got your fork like this. Is hilarious.
You don't eat this with broccolini or nothing?
Actually, I normally make a salad, or you can make a rice dish, some biryani. You could do whatever you want.
I feel like this would be good with some broccolini.
Yeah. First of all, high five broccolini. That's actually my favorite.
Broccolini.
Yes, that's one of my favorite dishes.
It is. It's my daughter's favorite too.
Is it? It gets really sweet when you char it. I love it. Yeah, I love it charred.
You had my broccolini, guys. He wouldn't like it. I know why he wouldn't like it.
Why?
I already know why.
Why?
I can just judge you.
Why?
Because I use butter.
Oh,
I use butter. I use a lot of butter.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I make bomb broccolini.
Broccolini's lit.
I do butter, a little bit of garlic, like the minced garlic you have, with a lemon zest.
Oh, well.
And the lemon zest in the tube.
Okay.
And then I sauteed in that with dill on top.
Okay. All right.
A little bit of salt.
4 minutes. All right. I think we good.
Feed us. I think the whole crew, even behind the scenes. Look, my dad is standing. I can see you. He's standing up like, yo, let me get up in there.
All right. This is looking like how I want. Okay.
This is the most anticipated dish of the season.
So can I put the pan there? Where should I? Oh, I should put it.
Probably put it there. Yeah.
Okay.
Move all those extra fillets. I told him he would have to cook all these fillets. I'm thankful I didn't, because we would have been here for 30 years.
Yeah, we'd have been here all day, but we would have ate all week though.
We would have ate. We would have. Oof. Look, I see him standing up there watching. Everyone's gonna fight for this last fish, because I'll tell you this: I'm not sharing my fish.
Your plate.
Oh, look, I was.
We got a spatula.
We gotta eat. We gotta eat.
Okay, where's this thing right here? The pressure is on.
Yo, that looks so legit. We're gonna need a picture of that. I guess we'll get pictures after. That looks great.
And see, now the oil and the water become like a juice that you can put on.
Do you have your phone on you? We should totally take a picture.
Yeah, here we go.
Take a pic. That looks legit.
I don't have the best phone, but hopefully this. I haven't bought a new phone in a long while, so hopefully.
I love that you practice what you preach.
Yeah, man, you don't need all these phones.
Yo, this was done, guys.
That's actually a nice little photo.
Oh my gosh, yes. Now feed us.
Okay. Now, if you really want to get, schmancy, fancy, I've seen other recipes where you bake it and then you flash fry it at the end, so it like gives it a real crispy skin and stuff. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways to prepare this. All right. Fingers crossed, applesauce. All right. Oh yeah, it's looking. We outside.
Stop saying we outside.
I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Where's my fork?
You don't look nervous at all. You look like a chef. Oh my goodness.
Even we got everybody in here trying to get some.
The fly is here.
The fly is in here like, yo, homie.
Look, Katie in the back, she don't even eat fish, and she said she gonna try this. And when she first saw those, she said, "Just so you know, I'm not trying that." When she first saw the whole fish. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. I should have done it like.
Yeah. If you want some hot sauce, okay.
I don't think we're gonna need seasoning.
Okay.
Now I don't know about the cinnamon, guys. I can smell the cinnamon.
I use my hands when I eat this. You feel me? But you might want to start with your fork. You can take the rosemary out. Man, I feel like all of Portland is on the line right now.
All the what?
All of Portland. They're gonna be like, bro, don't be embarrassing us on here.
Nah, man. Okay. Can we eat?
Yeah, let's go.
I ain't never wanted someone to sit down. Okay. Take the lemons off?
Yeah.
Okay. Take the lemons off.
Take the lemons off.
Okay.
And if you see how you get tossed, you hit them, you get some juice that comes out of there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hitting. It's very seasoned.
It's like hot. Wow, yeah, there we go.
Let's do. Should I be harsh? Imagine he did so well in that kitchen for hours, and I just say, there's a lot of cumin on it.
All right, G.
All right, it's good.
All right, G.
It's good, but I feel like, is it the cumin or the cinnamon?
Also, be very careful. You don't want
the bones.
Yeah.
Look, I'm hungry. You made me wait 10 years for this food. All right, guys. We're wrapping this episode, but we do have to rate the dish.
Make sure you get some of that inside.
Why? Is it different in there? Oh, it's got the garlic and all that, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. He's trying to make sure his rating goes up. He like, I don't know. Hold on. I think this is. Inside's better. I think it's the cinnamon I don't like.
You don't like the cinnamon? I'm a big fan of cinnamon.
Is the cinnamon or the cumin that you drown the fish in?
Also, too, you got this little thing on.
Okay, wait. We gotta see you eat ahead before we close out. Okay. Eat the head.
Check a part of this.
I'm gonna rate this dish based on the cumin and the cinnamon. 7.
All right, we outside.
You'll take a 7?
I'll take a 7 in a kitchen I never cooked before.
Mm-hmm. All right, look at him try to take a swing back. Hold on. I still eat it. I still think it's great. Oh, did you eat the head?
And take the little meat out the top.
Oh, I thought you just stick it all in your mouth. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into such a delicious episode. This came out perfect. Me personally, I would go a little lighter on the cumin and the cinnamon. But other than that, the inside of the fish is phenomenal. Still would eat this dish. Still gonna go home and make the rest of these fillets. Thanks for tuning in. And where can they keep up with everything, Johnny?
At Johnny Ray Gill on Instagram. Twitter, if it still exists, at Johnny Ray Gill.
Hilarious.
And Cross Season 2, February 11th.
And the album?
2026.
2026. Stay tuned. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
We inside. And you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm gonna re-rate this dish. As you can see, I am thoroughly enjoying it. I will give this a 9.9. And it's only because it's really, really, really delicious. And I think I just may have had like a bad first bite.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
But it's delicious, guys. I've got one left over there.
You see how this go? That's how you do it, fellas. You feel me?